Okay, there goes the bus. Alrighty, off to the next section on the Mauerweg. I've had better days, but it's much warmer than it has been lately. It's actually up to 9 degrees. Yeah, it's completely cloudy. I'd love to see the sun, but I don't think that's going to happen. But the way lies before me. Oh, let's go. Sections like this are fine when it's quiet. There's really nowhere for pedestrians. Not that great on a busy day. First sign was earlier. Here's the first of the trail markers, yet another memorial to somebody that's died. It does seem a shame to just be walking the road when right there is Sacrow, or in other words the lake, where incidentally a number of people got killed trying to escape from here, or when you've got these lovely bush areas. There's actually a path that runs, well, not parallel to, but comes out at the same point that this does later on. Had I realised this was all on the road, I might have thought twice about it. But hey, it's what happens when you follow the Mauerweg. Okay, so the sign up there, basically that's where I've come from. I can continue on down there into Spandau. But it basically takes me down to the lake and to the ferry crossing that goes across the Wannsee. I might just do that as a little excursion at some point, because that's actually easy to get to. But the best way goes here. Shame it's all tar sealed, but at least it's going through the bush. Finally, the tarmac is coming to an end. Okay, so nice as this last piece has been, it's been quite short. Had I taken the alternative, I would have come out just here, literally along the shoreline, down here, and then I would have gone along. So I could have done all of that following the shore of, I'm not sure if it's another lake or one of the rivers. There's so many waterways in this immediate area. That's okay. I'm a bit of a purist, so I've taken the proper way, but in hindsight it would have been nice. And look, back to tarmac again. I guess that's for the cyclists and so on. A lot of cyclists do the Berlin Wall. I get that. Lovely ride. Right, straight into town. Oh, this looks like a nice place to take a break. Look at that. So it's time for a light snack. As always, well, while I'm based out of home anyway, I've got home dried fruit, banana, apple, kiwi fruit, it looks like it today, and some store-bought coconut, a little bit of chocolate. Gotta have the chocolate, right? Anyway, that's enough chatter. I'm going to enjoy my snack. Catch you on the way. So it was a nice short break. Well, short. I've sat down for 10 minutes and I've only been walking for 50. First hour and 5k's down. Time to move on. I'm not pushing things today. Extremely late start. I didn't even get off on the bus until 12 o'clock. It's now 1. And it'll be dark by 4:30, so I'm not going to really worry too much. I'll get as far as I get. I might even only just do 15 k's. We'll see where the next decent bus station etc. is. It's taking so long to get to and fro from home, roughly 2 hours at each end, so kind of sucks, but that's the reality of being, you know, halfway or so away from or through the walk. I've got the far half of the walk now to do. It is what it is, right? One of the things I love about walking along the water's edge is you just get to see so many water creatures, birds, etc. I mean, there's a heron sitting just on the edge of the jetty there. You probably can't see him. The disadvantage of a GoPro, can't zoom in. Yesterday I was out walking and I saw a whole flock of white cranes. They just exploded out of the reeds alongside where I was walking. It was amazing because of course they take a moment to get flying. You know, they kind of spring into the air and then get their wings under them and kind of hover for a bit before taking off. And it was just so neat to see. Okay, no sign here. I'd love to follow the lake, but I suspect I go up. Walking through the edge of suburbia. So I'm just cutting down from the route I've been following to the path that I saw earlier, because for the last 500 meters or more it's literally been paralleling the road, but as you can see it periodically contacts the lake. I guess the reason the way was on goes the way it does is that it follows, I'm following a cycle route. Maybe if I'd specifically looked up a hiking one, it would have a different path for me. Not entirely sure about that because a couple of days earlier on the walk, and by that I don't mean literally a couple of days earlier, I mean the last time I was out walking in this area, I would not have wanted to take a bike along parts of that trail. But hey, each to their own, right? The only potential negative is that this is yet again tarmac, which I find particularly hard. Well, logically, it is hard, and that stresses your feet, your knees and so on, much more than walking on the grass, for example. Although at the angle that this is on, it doesn't look like much, but it's enough to be off-putting. You get the point. Well, this is interesting. I wonder if this is actually a memorial to the war, or even part of the old wall, because these posts, or something very much like them, were used in a lot of areas. They literally installed these posts, and then in between they slotted concrete panels. You've only got to look at videos to see what I mean. They would have, of course, been a lot more frequent because the panels were only, I think, 3 meters long from memory. And interesting how you've got this here as well. It looks fairly old, shall we say. But I don't see any information. This is something that you may or may not be familiar with, but here in Berlin you get a lot of these signs. Cyclists on one side, pedestrians on the other. And typically speaking, cycleway is often marked, well not always, but often marked with red. So certainly by crossings, things along those lines, just to remind you that, you know, this is the cycleway. And if you're walking on the wrong side, expect to get a very rude, short get out of the way. They have that right. You shouldn't be walking on their side. So, you know, that said, when it's like that, it basically means it's free to everybody, and you shouldn't, of course, block the whole way. You should be walking single file, but the cyclists then have to look out for you. So there's a bit of a differentiation between those two signs. Finally getting off that. Not sure, only a couple of kilometres, but still more than enough. All right, let's turn you around. Now we go this way. Oh, that is so nice. The traffic noise gets less with every step. I'm not much of a city person. So just over there, in the distance for you, but not that far from me, a few hundred metres, 500 maybe. Full on city, sky rises the lot. It hits a line with a bunch of houses just at the base of this hill, 200 metres away, if even, and that's it. It's nice being out here. It's kind of funny here in Germany. I so often see products like this. That's from New Zealand. Highly likely that's a Gallagher product. I've seen them with Strain Ride as well, but that and this here, most definitely Gallagher products. I dealt with them when I was in New Zealand, and I've seen so much electric fencing stuff here in Germany from Gallagher. Everything from the energizers all the way through various fencing units. I've seen other items along this fence line that straight away I was like, that looks like a Gallagher product. So a little bit of trivia for you. Back into town. It was nice skirting the edge of that reserve. Lots of places to sit along this way today. I don't think I've gone more than half an hour without seeing something. Certainly no more than an hour, which has been very pleasant. It's ironic that when I was walking through the woods I was complaining about asphalt under feet, and now that I'm actually here in town I've got dirt. Well, okay, limestone, bit of gravel, heck of a lot better for the feet. The light's starting to go, so I think I might call it quits for the day. It's not like I've got any particular place I have to get to, other than to somewhere where I can get public transport home again, that is. So yeah, I reckon that today just about done. I can still keep following the wall for now because the train station is roughly the direction of the wall. In fact, I think there is one directly on the wall, which would be a bonus. As a New Zealander, we don't have these types of buildings. I'm not honestly sure if that's a good or a bad thing, because by building up like that, you get to have all of this parkland and everything else at your doorstep. You've got places that the kids can get out and go and play completely safely. There's walkways all over the place. In fact, and cycleways, I've got kids, might even be a family, cycling towards me right at the moment. Kind of cool.